Coach Morrissey said earlier, talking about the multiple talents of his kids. All these kids have so many different talents. But the coaching staff too, as many of you might know, Coach Morrissey is a master craftsman, builds custom guitars. I saw the workshop once, it was one of the coolest things I ever saw. And I learned the hard way this summer, Coach Blaisdell is a very good golfer. So I'd like to share a few thoughts on the varsity season. It's kind of tough finding the words to sum it up or with a little time to reflect since we just finished yesterday. But I feel like that the two prevailing sentiments for me are gratitude and pride. There's so much I have to be thankful for as a coach. Once again, parents and families always do such a great job raising the kids, teaching them the right values for team sports, doing the best you can to getting them ready for practice and getting the uniforms together, all the little things behind the scenes. Having them on the sidelines, cheering them on, organizing the pasta parties, the team parties. It's that stuff seems like little things, but it's essential to our success. So it really is a group effort, and I can't thank you enough, parents and families, for everything you do for the team and the program. Support of the administration here at the school is outstanding. You know, I get an opportunity to talk to other coaches about what kind of support they have at their school, and we really have exceptional staff. Our new AD did a great job this year, Mr. Andrade, his assistants, the assistant AD, Jaquan and Lou in the office, making sure we have everything we need, keeping things running as smoothly as possible. They do an outstanding job. We're lucky to have them all. And our principal and assistant principals showing up at the sidelines in a lot of our games the last few weeks. I was giving the coaches everything they need in the building to support the program. You know, and that shows through the quality of the education here at the school as well. It's a great place to work. It's a great place to go to school. And we're really lucky to have all the leaders we have in different roles, and certainly very supportive of athletics and the soccer program. And definitely thankful of the great soccer coaches I get to work with. Coach Farrer, who coaches the 8th grade team, and I think that helps to spark the interest in being part of the school program. He does such a wonderful job there, and he's also in charge of gear and does a lot of little things behind the scene to make sure we're well equipped, and also gets to games whenever he can. He loves to see where the kids go. From 8th grade to 12th grade, it's a huge leap, and I think he enjoys that part of it, being on the sideline. And Coach Morrissey and Blaisdell, you guys had great seasons. Your coaching of the players, you're holding them accountable to high standards, is part of what lays the foundation for the ongoing success of our program. So again, thank you for everything you do every year for the program. Outstanding job. And also an extra special thank you to Coach Collins. As the players can attest, he does just an extraordinary job supporting the players and the team, going, I would say, above and beyond all reasonable expectations for a coach in the program. In so many ways, big and small. Just the motivational speeches, holding you guys accountable to core values, working on leadership, just the words of encouragement and advice, and then little things in the building, catching up with you in the halls, hosting you for morning breakfast sometimes. Coach Collins, you just do an amazing job. We're so grateful you're part of the program, so thank you. He's going to help hand out some awards at the end, so we'll get a chance to hear from him as well and give it a chance to address you guys. So, looking forward to that. I do like this arrangement. Last couple of years, we had you guys up here, but it's great to see you guys face to face up front. I think, you know, I said I'm really thankful and have this feeling of gratitude, and it's for you players and the commitment that you gave that I think I'm most grateful for. I feel like our season followed a somewhat similar path as last year. Started off bumpy in terms of how well we played in the field. And then we kind of gradually got into a groove and got stronger as the season went on, and then won those crucial games late to secure the league title, and then having an exceptional postseason run in the tournament. Both seasons kind of followed that path. And I think it's because, we're talking about commitment here, what I'm thankful for. If you're going to reach your potential as a team, you gotta buy into the process. And that's the gap between potential and what you actually achieve. It's that hard work, that commitment to doing things well every day of practice, to responding well to coaching, putting the team first, following the core values that Coach and I are pushing, supporting each other as teammates. That's the commitment you guys made, to follow through on all those values, all that effort. I think that's why the season follows the path that it does. We get better every day, we get better every week, and you start stacking one good practice after another, and you start to really reach your potential. And when we hit those crucial games at the end of the season, it's because you bought in and put in all that hard work that you're able to achieve your goals, both during the regular season and during the postseason. So, just a great learning experience about the importance of hard work and committing to doing the little things that we always talk about. That's what leads to success, always. There's no shortcuts to achieving that. And you guys really bought in this year as much or more of any team. And I and Coach Collins were really grateful for that commitment you guys put in. It was not easy. It's a grind. But you guys bought in every day, did the hard stuff, and the results showed. So really thankful for that commitment you guys gave this year in following our lead as coaches. You mentioned my other feeling, of course, is pride. Something that Coach Morrissey mentioned as well when he was addressing you guys. I'd like to say publicly here what Coach Collins and I have told you guys repeatedly, how proud we are of what we've accomplished this year. Just a few numbers and results that are pretty impressive. Our final regular season record, 12-2-4, and then 15-3-4 overall at the end of the season, one of the best in program history. We ended up with a number 8 power ranking at the end of the season, which is really difficult to achieve. We beat Ashland and Holliston twice. It never happens. I don't think it ever has since I've been coaching. That's one to remember. Similar to, was it the JV team or the JV 1 or 2, only 13 goals allowed over the whole season. I know that was a goal for the defense. I think it was last year we only allowed 14 goals, and that was a program record. And I didn't realize that was a goal until late, and I mentioned we only had 11 goals against. And I think after I mentioned it, we had let 2 goals in the next game, and I'm like, uh-oh. But was it we just allowed 1 goal against Westwood, or was it 0? Yeah. Oh, so we needed the shutout to get to 14. That's right, that's what you're saying on the field afterwards. And defense is key. The more we hold on to the ball, the forwards and the mids, the less opportunities the other team gets. It's a team commitment, so congratulations on that. Only 13 goals allowed, that's amazing. We didn't lose a single game on the road until last night, although technically it's not the road, that was a neutral site, but going to other team schools, we didn't lose a single game, we had a couple ties, but the rest were wins, and that's tough. Especially, the buses are late, you rush over there, you have like 10 minutes to warm up. It's difficult, so I don't know if that's ever happened since I've coached here. No losses on the road. We're also undefeated, or we didn't have any losses against any of the TBL large opponents that we were competing with for the league title. And again, that shows a certain amount of focus and mental toughness that I think characterize this team. It's 3 years running now that we're undefeated on our home turf in state tournament games. That's an impressive accomplishment. We always went out on the road in home tournament games, so you guys can say you never lost a home turf state tournament game. That's outstanding. Of course, our second trip in a row to the Final Four is difficult enough to get there the first time, but to repeat it the next year is really difficult. Knocking out the #1 ranked team last weekend, beating Bedford, that's a great accomplishment. And then, of course, winning another TBL title, that's only the 4th in program history, and you're going to get that banner up on the wall, and it's up there forever. So, just a really quality, impressive list of accomplishments on the field, so congratulations on those accomplishments. I think I said to the team, we got together after clinching the league title at Westwood, that I was proud of what they accomplished, but more proud of how they accomplished it. It was a tough year in many ways. I had never gone that far with a team in the tournament, and I guess I didn't realize until we kind of showed up in the fall how much pressure that's going to create in terms of expectations to try to repeat what the previous team had done. That was a burden, I think. I think within our league we had a target on our back. And I've shared with a few folks, and I know Dan and I talked about it a lot, how many coaches told me at the end of the game that was their best game of the season. It certainly happened a lot in the last 3 weeks. Devon coach said it, Medfield coach said it, Alston coach said it, Westwood coach said it. It was like game after game where, you know, our goals were on the line, the other teams were bringing their best, and we still beat them. That's tough. Last year, of course, graduating 15 seniors, most of the starting team, that included 2 all-state players. So we had to integrate a lot of new players into the team, a lot of new players into starting roles. There were a lot of shifting responsibilities. People tried new positions out over the course of the year. We tried a lot of new formations. It really felt like it was a work in progress longer than usual. We had injuries to key players throughout the course of the season, and that kind of shifts everything a lot. We had 2 3-game weeks in the middle of the season. We're starting to get tired against really quality opponents. I always schedule tough opponents for our non-league games, and it pays off in the long run. But those guys had a good run of games. When the going got tough against Leominster and Bishop Feion. So this is just some of the things I thought of more over the course of the season. I couldn't remember them all. That really made it a hard year. I think it was harder than last year for all those different reasons. But again, they put in the hard work and made the commitment to overcome all those obstacles and really achieve a lot of amazing results, and I think leaving a legacy that they can be proud of. In terms of accomplishing those goals, I think, you know, we reached our peak in those last couple of weeks of the season. I think with 3 weeks to go, we weren't in first place. I think we were a half game out maybe, behind Ashland. And that's when we were circling back to start to play all of the big schools that were competing with us for the second time around. And starting with Dedham, who won the small league title, we went 6-0-1, 6 wins in the title. And those were against all teams that were all in the running to win the title, except for Norwood. But it just shows you, again, not just the skill and the quality of play, but the mental toughness, the mental focus, the grit of this team. And by the way, all those wins, I look back, were 1-goal wins. So really impressive when it was tough and when it mattered, you guys were able to pull it out. Again, a little bit more about how impressive that run was. In the final power rankings for Division III, 4 of the top 10 teams and 6 of the top 20 were from the Tri-Valley League. I think far away more than any other league. And then in Division II, we were at 8, and Westwood was behind us, right behind us at number 10. So it was not easy. And for me, one of the great moments of the year was winning that game at Westwood, and just this sense of real, genuine sense of accomplishment. And again, like I said, you guys at the end of the game, just so proud of all those achievements, not just what you achieved, but you did it the right way. You know, through the whole process, you demonstrated good character, positive attitude, sportsmanship, everything that we want as coaches, a high school team to be and to represent. And I don't think myself or Coach Collins could have asked for anything else from the team. We're truly grateful and proud to be your coaches, so thank you. I'm going to start by saying a few words about the underclassmen, and I'll call them up, and then I'll talk about the seniors. I think for the underclassmen, it was really a challenging year, except for Zach Boschman, who was returning from last year. They were all new to the varsity team and to varsity level soccer. And I talked about this earlier, the jump up to varsity is a really challenging jump in terms of speed of play, physicality, the demands on you technically and tactically. It's a tough league. And the coaches, and I think the seniors, set really high standards and pushed the underclassmen hard every day. It wasn't easy. And I think they got pushed in ways in terms of soccer in ways they hadn't before. And they had evolving roles, playing them in different positions, maybe positions they hadn't played before. Game time evolved. Some played a lot here and not so much there, and vice versa. And I think just because of all these different elements, it was a really big challenge. But to their credit, they bought into this learning process, embraced the challenge, responded well to the coaching. I don't know how many times they came up to us and asked, what can I do better, coach? How can I get better? And that just shows, I think, the good character of the underclassmen. It's easy when maybe things aren't going your way in terms of how well you're playing or what you might have hoped for the season to just kind of shut down and focus on yourself. But they were team first all the way through and just wanted to know what they could do better on a daily basis. And I think it paid off for this group. They all got better as players, and I think they all played a vital role in the team's success, all in different ways, but we couldn't have done it without the underclassmen. I think it's going to pay off next year. We played most of the underclassmen in our scrimmage up at Boxborough, and then kind of the second half of that, and Coach Collins and I are already thinking about next year and how well the pieces are going to fit. And I think it's partly because we have guys coming back in every position from goalie all the way up to striker with varsity experience. So I think we're going to be able to put out a good team next year. And of course, some good players from the younger teams I think are going to be challenging for positions on the team for playing time as well. There's a lot of quality there as well. So really looking forward to next year leading this group of underclassmen. And I hope you guys learn not just from the coaches and the process, but also from the seniors. If you want to know the formula to having a good year, follow the lead that they gave this year. That's how it's done. Couple of recognitions for the underclassmen. Owen Silva was honorable mention for Tri-Valley Leagues, and congratulations, Owen. And we have quite a few first-time varsity letter winners, and that's not just varsity soccer, but varsity at the high school. Josh Kim, Josh Thomason Stoyer, Owen Silva, Tim Zakharov, Jack Rossiano, Ilias Lowe, and Emerson King. Congratulations. So I'll call you underclassmen up, give you your certificates. Josh Kim. Josh, yes. Tim Zakharov. Goal in every tournament game. Zach Ocean. Owen Silva. Chief in heaven. Jake Aaron. Jeff Graziano. Emerson King. Julius Lulu. Now for the senior group, a lot's already been said about what an awesome group they are. Again, sometimes it's hard to find the words. You just watch them practice and watch them play. You can see what a great group they are. You know, I hear it in the halls of the school every day. Like, oh, I get some of your players in class. What a great group of players you have to coach. And like, yeah, we're lucky. You know, as I've said, Coach Collins and I really prioritize over everything else character and commitment. It's the foundation of our program, and I think, and we know, the most important factor in our success over the last few years. You know, we didn't just have a run to the state final last year and get close this year. 2 years ago it was the state quarterfinal, so an incredible 3 years. And there was one constant over that time. It was this year's seniors group. That's what connects all 3 seasons. Some of them were on the team freshman year, some of them joined the team in the following years. But for me, that's one of the big constants. I think this group really, you guys are role models for our core values. It's not just something you say, it's who you are. It's the way you act every time you step on the field, every time you guys get together as a team. I think you led by example, starting sophomore year, continuing last year, and then you led as captains and team leaders this year, committing to those core values that are really the foundation for our success. You're selfless, you're humble, you're team-oriented, conscientious, hardworking, coachable, mentally and physically tough. It's, I could go on and on. There's just so many great character qualities of this group. It's really, I think, the secret ingredient for why we've done so well. Coaching you guys has been so fun and so rewarding personally and professionally. I really can't thank you enough. And I hope you guys are as proud of your own accomplishments. And again, the way you went about it as we are as coaches. So, awesome job. We're going to miss you terribly in the coming years. So congratulations on an awesome year. I know you wanted to kind of establish your own identity and success on your own after the graduation of last year's group. They got a lot of accolades and had some really big accomplishments. And I think you guys did that. And then some, both, again, with what you did in the field and the leadership you provided and the character you displayed. Definitely a mission you accomplished far above and beyond what I think you might have even expected. I also know you wanted to get back to the state final and take another crack at all reigns. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. But in terms of your legacy, I think, over the last couple of years, you've earned the program some really program defining rewards and accolades and recognitions, and I think you guys have impacted the program in such a positive and lasting way, it really can't be measured in wins and losses. So, again, an amazing couple of years, particularly this year. We really couldn't have asked for anything more as coaches. I think as family members, as community members, so thankful and so proud. Thank you so much. A few recognitions before I call them up. Some first-time varsity letter winners. Eunice Lalu. Just recognizing the varsity letters. And not surprisingly, first-time varsity letter winners are our friends from Europe, Jan Angeling and Federico Rossi. There's some Tri-Valley League honorable mentions from the senior group. Andrew Bilo-Brzeski. Jan Angeling. Federico Rossi. Carlos Henkel. And Derek Adderley. And for what it's worth, I thought that we should have got more recognized as League All-Stars, but they put a, I think, unjust limit on the number of All-Stars we can recognize as a league. So it's tough to get that honor, and I think some more guys were deserving of it. But really important recognition for those players. And then we did get 3 League All-Stars. Will Bilo-Brzeski. Sean McCann. And Jack Iannelli. And Jack was also recognized by the Eastern Mass Soccer Coaches Association as an all-star. All-star and all-state. I know at our meeting we did Eastern Mass All-Stars, but then when the email came back, it had that all-state in there as well. Did you notice that? You didn't. You just saw an email. But he'll get to play with the other Eastern Mass All-Stars. Hopefully he'll be able to make it the day after Thanksgiving. So, congratulations, Jack. That's a special honor. So I'd like to call the players up. Jan, come on up. No, that's in a couple minutes, but I just want to say a couple of things. I think, as upset as we were last night about losing, we were still laughing about the first scrimmage of the year. He cursed the ball boy. On Hopkinton. It was, who were we scrimmaging? Oh, it was the KP scrimmage, the second scrimmage. Cursed the ball boy. I think he pulled his shirt off as he came off the field. He's like, Coach, these refs don't know anything. They're terrible. I'm like, Jan, you're just going to have to accept it and get used to it. And I think by the end of the season, he accepted and got used to it. Jan, obviously, a very talented player. What I respected most about your game, really amazing passer of the ball. We saw evidence of that last night. What a great cross to Tim to score that goal. Just your amazing vision. You always find the right space to put the ball. But we really enjoyed having you on the team this year. Really positive. It was a lot of fun. Hope you had a great experience. Will Bilo-Brzeski. It was one of my missions this year. I swore by the end of the season I could tell them apart, and I can. It's not because of the hair, it's not because of the cleats, it's not because of the number on their back. I promise you, I've got it down. Well, amazing job helping to anchor our defense. Also played some outside mid this year. You were close. I think the season record for assists is 16. I think you had 14 or 15. So I think that. I think it's a testament to your selflessness. The assists don't always get the recognition. That I think reflects the way you go about your game. It's about putting the team first and putting in the work and doing whatever you can to get the team to have a successful season. So great job. Drew Byling-Zeski. Drew, outstanding job as a midfielder and forward this season. Scored some goals, got some assists, did a little bit of everything. Sometimes we played at striker, sometimes outside mid, sometimes attacking mid. I think we had to sneak you in at defense at one point when Derek came off. No matter where we put you, great technical ability, played with guts, just a positive force on the field with the team. Congratulations on a great year. No pan. I'm sure you go over your name like you did for the senior night. Noah, great addition to our team this year. A couple of qualities that stand out to me: the work ethic and the positive attitude. We actually play a lot of different roles this year. No matter where we put you, you gave it 110%. Very coachable. Always seeking feedback, and just a great teammate and a great friend to all the guys on the team. You had a great year. Thank you so much. We were talked about having to sometimes change roles, and Coach and I talked. One of the big turning points this year was when we moved back to defense. When Sean came out injured, I think at that point some of the younger players would join the team. I think their hard work was paying off, and we could give them bigger roles in midfield and move you back to, I think, by far your strongest position on the field. And when Sean got back, the two of you together in the back, what an anchor. Such strong 1v1 defenders, such strong distributors of the ball, good communicators, and just the backbone of the team in the field. And of course, all the other great qualities: positive attitude, work ethic, leadership. We could have asked for anything more from Derek. Congratulations. One of the things I talk about with the team is trying to balance head and heart. And I think the biggest challenge, that was the biggest challenge of the year for Carlos, more than any other player. And I think it's because you have such a big heart. I don't think anyone wants to win more than you do. You were the guy in the off-season, organizing, summer league, getting guys up to play whenever you had a chance. You have such a passion for the sport, such a passion for the team. Pushing guys in the field, pushing guys at halftime, giving your speeches. You had that big heart, and I think that was as strong as you played in the field, possessing, breaking down the other team's offense, really valuable contributions, but I respect and appreciate most that heart you brought. You couldn't have done it without it. Great job. Jack Iannelli. We talked about those 15 graduating seniors. We graduated a lot of goals, and there's question marks about how we're going to fill in that gap, but you scored a lot of goals. Thank you, Jack. So many highlights. One of my favorites was at the first tournament game. The ball came in deep from, from you, Will, and he volleyed it out of thin air. Yeah, it was a restart. I thought that was just beautiful. You caught that out of the air, didn't you? Yeah. That was, and not just the goal scoring ability, what a touch on the ball. Those balls that come 30 feet out of the air, kicking from the goalkeeper from the back, he always settles it down cleanly and is able to go from there. It seems effortless. But I think one quality I respect that doesn't get mentioned often is the toughness. Forwards take the biggest beating. If you were at the game last night, as usual, fouled a bunch of times, never gets calls, but always gets back up and keeps going. So just that extra special grit and toughness is, I think, one of the things that really make you special as a player and a leader of the team. So for all those things, congratulations, Jack. Unislalu. Eunice, another player that had a great work ethic, has a passion for soccer, loves to be out there every time we play, always asking me what he can do to get better. What a role model as a player. And on the field, great speed, put a lot of pressure on the other team, help generate offense no matter where we put you, striker, outside mid. And just a great part of the team this year. Really appreciate all your contributions. Great team. I mentioned earlier what a rock he and Derek were in the back. This is the second year fell back with that defense. So 2 straight years really of an amazing job in that back line, minimizing the goals. I think one of the things that stood out for me was Sean, of course, his leadership, but young leaders, young adults, they can't often pull off, I think, pushing guys verbally. I think that he got on guys' cases when they weren't working hard enough. And I think we had that verbal leadership, that get-in-your-face attitude, we needed to play harder, we needed to fix things, not just in games, but also in practices on a daily basis. It's not easy to pull it off and maintain the respect of your teammates. But you did it the right way because they know you cared about them, you respected them, and that's true leadership. So congratulations for that, and a great year. Talk about a player had to play a lot of different roles. Starting, not starting, sometimes playing a lot of minutes, sometimes few, sometimes none. Playing striker, playing outside mid, playing defender. No matter what we asked you to do, you went 110% in every day, totally positive attitude. So always looking to be helpful to your teammates, always looking to be helpful to your coaches. Just such a positive impact on the team and the daily environment. What an awesome leader you had. Thanks so much, Jack. someone else who had to get used to the American refereeing. Again, we're sulking heavy this year. It was so much fun to have you join the team, really helped fill in some of the gaps we lost on offense with last year's graduating team. Really paired well with Jack up front. You want to have the kind of the speed player, the attacker, combined with the player that can hold the ball well under pressure. And we got the ball up to Federico, who always controlled it, and then generated offense from there. I think one of my favorite moments of the season was that after Bedford, we were on the bus, and I was like, Federico, you having fun playing soccer in America? He's like, Coach, I'm so happy. And he really meant it. And you know, it's many of you know, there's no school sports in Europe. It's a uniquely American thing, and I think that Jan and Federico came to realize what a special thing it is. And I think you guys were as heartbroken at the end of the game last night as everyone else. So hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed having you. Great year, Federico. And Coach Collins is going to give out some team awards.
Really quick, thank you so much to parents, not just of varsity players, but JV1, JV2. We say all the time how, you know, the little things matter, and just like the level of preparedness that our players come to practice games with. We know it starts at home, we know it's not on their own volition, so we really appreciate that. I really want to know, I think it was like the North Attleboro game, I showed up, it was like a noon game, and I was there at like 9:30, and some parents and some family had like set their chairs up already. Yeah. And I was like, that's where they get it from. So kudos to that. I knew it was we cannot, just to the players, we can't thank you enough. I know Coach said it, just your buy-in this year was absolutely immense and incredible. On July 6th, myself, Jack Ionelli, Drew and Will, and Carlos, Sean, you're at baseball. We sat in the booth at Bill's and talked about goals for the year, and they proceeded to say, back-to-back TBL, we want to, let up less than 14 goals, and then they sat there for the next hour and danced around like what they actually wanted. And we eventually walked out of there and said, we want to go back to a state championship, and you can't be afraid to say that. You can't be afraid to dream. You can't be afraid to say what it is that you actually want, despite who we graduated, who is now on the team, who we don't even know yet is on the team. You can't be afraid to say that and to have that goal. They're so sick of hearing like my one-liners and my quips and my cliches, but they truly gave everything, every piece of themselves to the team this year. And it's really easy to say, oh, you got to sacrifice your team, you got to give a piece of yourself to the team if you want to be successful. And they didn't just give a piece of themselves to the team, they gave a piece that the team needed and not the piece that they wanted to give. And that showed up in the wins and losses, and that's why you guys are so successful this year, because you guys gave what we needed, not what you wanted to give. So thank you. We're going to start with our most improved. First of all, we had so many options for this award. It was really hard to select who we thought deserved this award, which speaks to, again, just how much it took everyone's contributions to achieve success this year. This particular player, I think, is like the poster child for success isn't linear. And I think at the beginning of the year, even the time that he got on the field was not always pretty, not by a long shot, but the first words, honestly, one of the most quiet, reserved, sort of like passive players I've ever coached. And then I think the first words I ever heard him say was, what do I need to do to improve? And then just from there, the promise and the talent, I think, really showed. And I think if looking back on it at the beginning of the season and what I would consider him now, the kid is an absolute stud. He is a stud, not just on this team, but in the landscape of the state. He is an absolute stud. For all his vision, his decision making, the fact that he can put the ball in the back of the net really pales in comparison to his grit, work ethic, and I think what I'm most proud of, he has become just a phenomenal teammate and a brother to the guys on the field. I have zero worries. I always try to like curt my compliments because I know their heads will just get so big. But I don't worry about inflating his ego because I know he's shown time and time again he isn't complacent with what he has. One goal, each goal in every playoff game. Are you kidding me? Goal in every playoff game. Next up, we have our Players Award. Our description is somewhat unique. It reads, who do you look up to the most or respect the most for the way they conduct themselves as a teammate? Who best represents the ideals and values of Hopkinton High School athletics? This is totally voted on by the players. We have no input. And I think, bar none, there's no one that cares more for this team and then the people on this team than this person. He is someone who doesn't just believe, but truly embodies that how you treat your teammates and peers is paramount to the success of any team, right? It's not about necessarily skill, but it truly is how you treat your teammates that like I said, affects the wins and losses. His attitude and mentality, I know is the standard and metric by which we should hold every single one of our student athletes at this school. His character and overall behavior, I believe, is that remarkable. I know personally that he makes me a better coach every day. I am a better person for knowing this young man the last 4 years, for sure. My favorite story that I've ever heard about any athlete is there was a student one day spilled an entire tray of nachos. You know, like school nachos, it's like that gross yellow cheese, and it was everywhere. And a teacher came over, helped the student, it was all over the student's shirt, helped the student to the bathroom, and then when she came back, it was cleaned up, and she didn't know who cleaned it up. She said, oh, a custodian must have got to it, another teacher, and a student came up to her and said, it was Sean McCann. And so that's why he's not just, again, a leader on this team, but as you guys know, he's a phenomenal leader in this school, and someone that I know our community is so proud to call our own. So our Players Award this year is Sean McCann. Like I said, so many, next is our Coaches Award, I apologize. Like Gareth has said, we are so blessed with just so many phenomenal leaders, not just from our senior class, but really all students that we have in this program. We're truly blessed with a tremendous amount of leaders. And then this award could have gone to any number of one of them, seriously. Before the season, we met as a team in a classroom, and we read passages from Abby Wambach's book, Wolfpack. I don't know if anyone's read it. It's a phenomenal book. It's about leadership, and I talk about culture and team, and again, the one-liners, and they're sick of hearing them. And there's a section that talks about, if you can't lead from the bench, you can't lead from the field, and that leadership isn't something that you wear as a badge, it's something bestowed upon everyone. We are all have the right and the responsibility to be leaders if you're on a team. And this young man takes his role as a leader so seriously, and he really has since I really got to know him as a sophomore. It's pretty clear that people around here, we talk about all these accolades and Final Four trophies somewhere. People forget that we would scrap and crawl past the first round or even into the playoffs. And I think the program's current success is really up to this young man. And in terms of like people talk about shifting culture, and he is not just a shifter of culture, he's like the driver of the boat. Like you think of a cruise line, right? Shifts ever so slightly. He's the driver of that ship. And over the past 2 to 3 years, the ship started to shift inch by inch. And he's a fervent believer in his teammates, and that when we have a good culture, we put tallies in the win column, like I've said. And to say that you have left this place better than when you found it would be a drastic understatement. I'm going to miss coaching you every day. Just a phenomenal leader, phenomenal player. Some would agree, some would disagree. The best part about this player is that there are 2 of them. So our Coaches Awards this year go to Will and Drew Bilereski. Lastly, we have our most valuable player. I have been waiting to give this out for a year. I knew the moment. This was exactly a year last year. Dylan Mashad, he was a senior last year. He said in his speech that he gave a prediction for this year, how we would do as a team. And it kind of caught me off guard because he goes, you'll be pretty good. You'll be pretty good next year. And that's the first moment it started. I knew there were people that doubted this team. Guys doubted you. People doubted you. Even your own teammates doubted how good you guys could be this year. And that carried on. And I took notes all year. I kept tabs. Who's going to score goals without Sean? You're losing 2 Eastern Mass All-Stars. Your team lacks, this is the best one, your team lacks zip. You're only returning 8 players. All true. And in fairness, those are all like real things that coaches think about in the offseason. Those are all things that these guys have had to deal with, that they put on their shoulders. It's things that they had to confront. And we sat in a classroom with a bunch of seniors, the same one I mentioned before, and we were talking about culture, talking about our team, and one of them just said super bluntly, we have to earn back our respect this year. And that was something that not only I know inspired his teammates, but something that I carried around with me this year, all year, and lit a fire under me, and I know it did for Coach as well, to be the best that we could be. And then since that classroom session, it was absolutely on. The amount of goals and assists he had is trivial in comparison to the level of grit, toughness, and tenacity that this young man not just approaches soccer or the basketball court with, but like life. He truly is. And I had to think long and hard about this, and I asked other coaches. He's the toughest athlete I've ever coached. Ever. Not even close. The toughest athlete I've ever coached. He didn't just go out every game to clearly prove people wrong, about things that people said about our team, but what people said about him. Being compared to Sean, to Peter. I can't even begin to say how much he not only is the engine that powers this team, but personally gave me an incredible sense of purpose and drive this year, like I said. He deserves every single accolade he's racked up this year and during his career. 2 Final Fours, a state finalist, back-to-back TBL champs, all-conference, Eastern Mass All-Star, and most recently All-State. But I'm most proud to call him Jack Iannelli, our MVP. That concludes our team awards. We're going right into senior speeches?
Yep.
Wonderful. I'm sure you have an order.
Sure, I'll go first.
Sure.
Anyways, like a microphone. Hello everyone. In case you don't know me, I am Sean McCann. I'm one of the captains on the varsity team. I am so happy to be up here tonight, lucky enough to give a speech to all of you. I know I'm supposed to make the speech decently quick, but there's so much to talk about, so sorry. I first want to start off by thanking everyone who allowed me to be here tonight. All of my coaches, Coach Gaughan, Coach Mara, Coach Ryan, Coach Morrissey, and of course, Coach Collins and Coach Short. I could not have asked for better role models. I can say with 100% certainty that there are no two coaches who love a team more than both Coach Collins and Coach Short. They have dedicated their lives to our team and did absolutely everything possible to give us the best chance at winning each game. Next, I would like to thank my entire family. First, I would like to say thank you to all three of my sisters here tonight, Tiana, Kayla, and Ashley. Each one of them have supported me endlessly through my entire soccer career, and I could not have asked for better supporters from these three. Tiana would always be cheering me on and making sure I'm not hurt. Kayla would always put aside anything and everything to make sure she knows that I know she will always be supporting me. And she'll always say before each game, "You better win." And then Ashley was the only one that could actually play soccer with me. She has an extremely high work ethic, higher than me, and could not have gotten this far without any of it. And now I'd like to thank my mom. Not done yet. My mom has always reminded me that even though she's not the one kicking the ball around with me now, she was always the one that spent 3 hours a day back in England kicking the ball a few feet back and forth. She reminds me to do my best no matter what the situation, to always keep a positive attitude. And although she gets nervous whenever I end up on the ground, which unfortunately is a common occurrence, she is always ready to support me and find ways to get me back on the field as soon as possible. She will always be my #1 cheerleader. And Dad, thank you for being my very first coach. Thank you for always trying to understand how I'm feeling. Thank you for all the rides to tournaments, and thank you for all the tips for each game, even if I didn't agree with them. I will always remember listening to No Sleep Till Brooklyn by Beastie Boys when I was only in 2nd grade. And before each playoff game this year as well. I will always remember you first asking the score of the game, and then secondly with the follow-up question, were you on the field when they scored? There are so many memories I could bring up, but I just want to say thank you all for everything. Now we're going to talk about the team. I have so many memories from literally every single one of you. To start, I had zero idea who was going to be on this team this year. But looking back on it now, I do not think there could have been a more perfect group of kids I wanted to play with. We all got each other's nerves at certain times. But even then, this team for the past few months have been my second family. I told myself at the beginning of the year I was going to give it all I could to this team. And I did, and I know everyone else did too. I could not be more proud of every single one of you. We accomplished so much more than anyone ever expected of us. I had 2 goals from the very beginning of the season. One of the 2 got accomplished. I first wanted to go through a season without an injury, which I would never put money on, but I always had high hopes. But my second goal of the season that I had in the entire offseason, my dad can vouch for me, is I wanted to set a single season record for least amount of goals scored against. And we did it, and I was so incredibly happy. It was unreal when it happened, just after that Westwood game. Unbelievable. Now, I know I've talked a lot about being proud and happy with how the season went, but there were so many more memories that came from the season. I remember Jan yelling at the ball boy in the preseason game, making him cry. I remember screaming, "Timmy boy!" for the very first time. I remember fist bumping Vilo each day. Don't follow afterwards. I remember being able to play with some of my best friends for years now in this final season. I remember Fede's beautiful flops and Carlos's strong connection with every single other team. I'll remember giving Uni a hug before every practice and every game. And I'll remember all the hugs that we shared yesterday. I'll remember this banquet and all the great memories we have shared together. There was so much that went into this team, and so much each of us took out of it. I love this team so much. Thank you all, and have a great rest of your night.
Hello everyone, I'm Will Balabreski for those who don't know me. First of all, I just want to thank all of you for being here today. I'm so grateful to have such an amazing support during my high school years, and it's been a complete honor to be a part of such an amazing team like this one. I want to thank a couple of people specifically. For starters, I want to thank my parents. You guys have been with me through it all, through the losses, through the wins. You guys always told me to keep my head up, told me you were proud of me, told me you'll get the next one, and especially after a late night practice drive by Wendy's, you always told me there was food at home. You guys gave up so much of your time driving us to games and practices, and I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me over the years, so thank you. Secondly, to my coaches, I've loved every second of this journey with you guys. From freshman year with Coach Ryan to the last 3 years with Sawyer and Collins, nothing can ever take away the bonds we have formed throughout the seasons. You guys have put so much time and effort into this team, and I think that's a big testament to why this team went so far these past 3 years. There's never a time where Coach Sawyer isn't scouting another team, or when Coach Collins isn't planning a recovery session. And we are so prepared and ready for each game because of the work they put in on and off the field. Lastly, I want to thank my teammates. You boys are the reason I get up ready to go to school, and I'm excited for practice. I'm so proud of all the things we've accomplished this season, and while it hurts to know that it's over, I'm so grateful that it happened. Coach, as Carol Lawson always says, life never gets easier. Success goes to the people that handle hard better. There isn't a single quote that could sum up this team more accurately. We all gave up so much, but if I could, I would give up even more to do it again. These past months have been the best time of my life. To the underclassmen on the team, stay positive and always believe in yourself. You can do anything that you set your mind to. Lastly, to my fellow seniors, thank you all again for everything. You're my best friends, and I'll never forget the times we've shared together. I'm so sad to see our journey come to an end, but we had a hell of a ride. Thank
you. Hello everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm in this school's twin, Drew. And I've gotten the opportunity to play on this team for the past 3 years. Over the years, I've seen many different parts of the field, bouncing between many positions to fill whatever voids were brought about. I've played amidst great players, and I've made some of my closest friendships through this sport, ultimately starting 14 years ago when I laced up my first fresh pair of Umbros for little kickers at 4 kicks. This sport has brought me so many memories that I will have for the rest of my life, ones that I know will pop back up in my mind later down the road. From Mr. Gunn's travel team back in middle school to high school team, most of the seniors on this team have built our chemistry over the years, and I love seeing how we have progressed. First off, I want to thank my parents for their endless support and dedication to this team. and for their 14 years of constructive criticism. Long car rides to and from club soccer games, the rain, snow, and scorching heat were quite the hassle. They were always there to support me. I want to thank my brother Will for pushing me to be a better student athlete and overall person, and for challenging me in the yard every day. Though they are not here today, I'd like to thank my Massachusetts grandparents for their love and support, and for coming to nearly every sporting event of mine. I would also like to thank my Michigan grandparents and extended family for their support as well. And even though they are far away, I love receiving their supportive texts after game days. I want to thank Coach Sawyer and Coach Collins for their ever-growing commitment to this team, and believe they have been the masterminds behind these amazing preseasons. Lastly, I want to thank the team. I want to thank the guys who show up to practice every day despite nagging injuries and drowsy weather, and for always giving me a place to look forward to at the end of the day. I want to thank the other 21 players of this team for buying into our program, chasing our goals, and never giving up. Though my time on this team has come to an end, I'm leaving this team in the hands of very capable leaders that I know can make a name for themselves next year. Underclassmen, I hope you realize just how big the season was, all the goals we accomplished, and that this season was a job well done. Although we didn't make it as far as we wanted, we broke a school record, with the second team in history to make the Final Four, won the TVL for the second year in a row, and beat Holliston twice in one season. We also created a strong bond between us that I didn't think was possible with 14 new guys. This is the most committed, tight-knit team I've played on, and I'm so thankful to have shared my last season with you all. Thank you for everything. I love you all. 6 out.
Hello everybody, my name is Jack Garinelli, as many of you probably know already. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for coming to our banquet. It might not be the most entertaining for everybody, especially for those younger siblings out there. Trust me, I know. I'd like to begin my speech by thanking my family. My parents have been a huge part of my success on and off the field. They're my biggest supporters, and I honestly don't think I would have the same success without them. I'd like to thank each of my siblings for providing me with different ways of supporting my goals. I'd like to thank my coaches who have helped me become the player I am today. Coach George Gahn in my days with the Hopkins and travel team, Coach Vera in middle school, and Coach Sawyer, Coach Collins, and Coach Morrissey in my 3 wonderful years on varsity. Now for the team. I want to thank you all for an amazing season. I knew this season was going to be just as fun as the rest, as soon as Lowe slept through the first trial of the season. I didn't think he could beat his previous record of sleeping through our first practice sophomore year, yet he managed to do it. Throughout the season, we had our ups and downs. 2 things that stood out to me as I recapped the season was Emerson's goal against Norwood, which I still couldn't believe happened, and our loss to Norton, who I'm pretty sure only won 3 games the entire season. To my fellow seniors, I can't believe that we've all played our last game together, but I'm proud to say that I grew up with such amazing friends. Even you, Jan and Fede. At first, when I learned that they lived right down the street from me, I was sort of disappointed. That meant that I was in charge of driving them to and from practice every day. Yet, those car rides became some of the most special moments throughout the season. I'll never forget Jan ranting to me about what Fede's doing, and Fede ranting to me about what Jan's doing, and me just sitting in the middle, not understanding a word they're saying. To the juniors, I wish you the best of luck in trying to follow up on Sean's pregame speeches. I hope you can use what you have learned these past few years in order to be the best leaders you can be. To the sophomores, don't take your time for granted. I was in your shoes just 2 short years ago, sitting in a chair in the high school cafeteria, listening to what seemed like 100 senior speeches. I wanted to just get up and leave. Cherish each and every moment you have with the team, even the boring ones like this. Last, but certainly not least, to Josh Kim. I can't wait to see what you will bring to the team in the future. I'm proud to say that I'll have a former teammate still in high school in 2027. This may be the end of the road for us as a team, but the relationships I've built will last much longer. Just this morning, I FaceTimed a former teammate and wished him a happy birthday. That being said, what I'm looking forward to most is waking up in my college dorm on a cold Monday morning, tired from the day before, to a call from Motion Gras. I can only imagine how big their smiles will be as they wish their glorious kin, Jack Ionelli, a happy birthday. Thank you all again for the amazing season.
Hello everyone, I am Henkel, and thank you all for coming. I know it's kind of boring, but it's fun for us. So first off, I want to thank my dad who signed me up for soccer when I was 4 years old and introduced me to this game that I'll forever love. And also, I thank you to my mom who would be in charge of driving me to and from games all over the state, and even though she complained, I think she had a little bit. So I also want to thank her for getting mad at my dad whenever he would try to give me sound advice and say that I was playing good enough and that he needed to stop being so mean. I would also like to thank Coach Sawyer and Coach Collins for developing me as a player. I don't think that I would be the player I am today without them. I've grown a lot due to them, and I know that I wasn't always the easiest to deal with, and it's kind of hard to deal with a hot temper on the field, but you guys made it work, so thank you very much for that. So ever since the 3rd grade, when I played academy soccer, is when I started playing with Derek here, Champy, and Ethan. And then middle school, when, oh, and Boshi. Sorry about that. Yeah, but then in middle school, I signed up for the middle school team. And that was the first time I got to play with a lot of these guys that have been playing together before then. And that was the best season I've ever had up until that point playing soccer. It was so much fun, not because of how good we were pretty good, but because of like the bond that we created as a team, and just, I knew that we had such a special group of guys there, and I was just so excited for high school knowing that we could do so many things together. Now that we're all seniors, you know, we've had a long road here, but we did accomplish all those things that we wanted to do. And I could stand here and talk about accolades for a long time and what we accomplished, but I really want to talk about the bonds that we have made together, everyone on this team, and how much I appreciate that I came ready to work every day, fully excited to be on this team, and I'm so happy that you guys all did the same. And I'll never forget this team. Ever since I made the team my sophomore year, I would think about this team every season until fall would come around, and I would just be so excited just to get with this group of guys and get back to work again. And I really appreciate all you guys coming in and doing the same and just being fully brought up into this program, because without that, it would never have worked. And to the underclassmen, I know I can be a little mean sometimes, but I want to thank you guys for just putting up with me and just working as hard as you could and giving everything you could to this program, no questions asked, coming every day to practice ready to work. and just giving me the best senior season I could have asked for. So I really appreciate you guys for all of that. And just these bonds that we've made in this culture that we have as a team, I don't think I'll ever find anywhere else in my life. So I just really appreciate you guys giving me something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life and giving me the best experiences that I've ever had and will ever have in high school. So I really thank you guys for that. We didn't do it yesterday because it kind of sucked, but we didn't turn the page. So we can do that now.
Yep.
Oh wait, I did it wrong. Classroom. You guys have a new story right next year and a new name to make for yourselves. So whoever's on duty of turning the page every day, I don't know, that's Coach Collins who determines that. I think the most deserving of this is Champy. You know, comes ready to work every day, smile on his face. And I also don't think that any of the underclassmen just have, you know, it was his first year on the team, and he really embodied everything it means to be on this team. And not many people can do that, because there's no program like this program in the school. No other culture like there is on this team. And he did it, he just picked it up right away, so that goes to you, Jim. I really thank all you boys for an amazing season. Love you all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Derek Hatterley, and I want to start off just by thanking my parents, especially for paying for my many years of playing soccer and for all the rides during those years. To both my parents and my grandparents, thank you for always showing up to my games, no matter the distance or weather. And to my brother Dylan, thanks for coming to some games. I also can't thank Coach Sawyer, Collins, or Morrissey enough for their team commitment, or for their commitment and belief in us. This has been an incredible year for our team. Coming off of last year's final loss, many of us felt that we had lost our only chance at going all the way. This year, we proved that we could make another run with this amazing group. For me, this year was full of surprises. The biggest one was in Medway, and I was moved to center back, and then proceeded to tap in the game-tying own goal within 10 minutes. Besides that, I really enjoyed being a part of our record-breaking defense. But these past few playoff games really made me miss the midfield and I could wear long sleeves. Going forward, what I will always remember about this team is the culture. After last night's game and my penalty shot, I tried to blame myself for the loss, but was only met with hugs and confirmation that reminded me of the family that this team is and how much I'm going to miss it.
Probably better known the team as Prov. But first off, I'd like to thank my parents for always being my biggest supporter. Dad, when I was little, I was always so proud to tell my teammates and sometimes even the kids on the other team that you're the coach. Mom, for every game that I played, if it was sunny and above 60 degrees. On a real note, Mom, I know you're the reason that I fell in love with sports. Growing up and learning how to ski with you, you showed me the value that mastering something can have on your character. Since then, I've always tried to replicate that on the field, whether that's lacrosse or soccer. I think everybody that's come up here can speak for me and the lasting meaning and impact that this team's had on all of us. I won't continue to talk about that, talk for a while. So I'm just going to talk about some of my favorite memories from the team. To start off, there was lots of sad faces last night from everybody, but none as sad as the betrayed face of defeat that Fede gave me at the McCann's Bagger when he saw a pineapple on my pizza. I think something died in his Italian soul. But Derek and I can still cook that. To Josh Camps, Nellie and I sincerely apologize for jumping up and down and laughing in the halls when we saw you walk out of class with a girl. Which is now his current girlfriend. And I think we've been able to fight off all the other girls that have been flocking to you since we varsity freshmen. This one's for Tim here. Nobody's forgetting you skipped our first hibachi night in the first week to play Fortnite. And Coach didn't tell you that's the reason you didn't play for the first half of the year. I think it's already mentioned Jan with the ball boy like 4 times, so I'm going to say that one. But we've grown to love Jan, and it's something I think we try to show him, like the culture around soccer. I think the first day of tryouts, some of the team got together, got food, and we kind of came to the consensus that we weren't very happy with Jan. Jan came out to tryouts, and the ball would come to him, and he'd go, ball, 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 and he'd yell, and blame everybody else. But he learned our names, and I knows how to ask for the ball nicely. Jack Graziano has inspired my future career as a chiropractor. I personally fixed his posture. Probably didn't have the best posture at the beginning of the year, but always corrected him as often as I could see him. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about your chronically tight hamstring. And to TS, TS, you always kept call rides entertaining. All the juniors might be excited to see who the captains are going to be next year. I'm excited to see who's going to inherit the Bro Prague, Bro Prague, and we get you the ride home. Finally, coaches, I'm sorry you have to do a coach for a third excruciating. But thank you everybody for a great year. It means a lot to me.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Noah. I know it's been a long night, so I'll try to say some quick thank yous. First off, I want to thank all my teammates. With 15 new kids on the team, I wasn't sure how well we'd be able to bond, but I really enjoyed spending these last couple months with all you boys. And as Coach Collins said, we had a lot of doubters coming into the season, but all of you proved them wrong, which I do attribute mostly to our strong bond. I think our bond was evident when we played Among Us on the bus to the Bedford game. And Nelly, you're still the most butt imposter I've ever seen. Underclassmen, I promise that the 4 years on this team will go by so much faster than you would ever expect. So please enjoy every moment of it, because it really is the most fun I've ever had. As for the seniors, it was truly a blessing being able to spend the last soccer season with all of you. Prav, Sean, Nelly, Will, Drew, and I have been playing together since elementary school. We played indoor soccer at John Smith, and when Coach Gone teach us how to mark the ball and bicycle kick at the ripe age of 10. Secondly, I specifically wanted to thank Los for always being by my side these past couple of years. It sucks that we only got to play 2 years together, but you really kept me going, and I can't thank you enough. And next, I want to thank Coach Sawyer. You have greatly helped me improve my game just the last few months, and have put full faith in me and everyone's team, which is why we have been a very successful program. And next, I want to thank Coach Collins. Coach, you have been such a positive influence in my life during high school. You demand the best out of me and all of your athletes, while simultaneously building connections with us and letting us have fun. You have helped me overcome so many challenges on the field and on the track. There's another coach I want to be spending all 3 seasons with. Lastly, I want to thank my parents. Thank you for driving hundreds, if not thousands of miles to my games and watching every one of them and supporting me along the way. Your support has given me so many unforgettable memories and friendships that will last for the rest of my life. And I'm so grateful for everyone that has helped me along this journey of mine for the past 13 years, and I'm even more grateful that I got to end it with all of you boys. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Eunice. First of all, I want to thank everybody that came here for this beautiful banquet. Alright, thank you for this amazing season, guys. It was great to play with you guys. I want to thank my family for showing up for all my game and supporting me. And I want to thank the coaches, Coach Morsi, Coach Promise, and giving me all the abilities to play this beautiful sports that I really like. I want to thank my teammates for supporting me through this entire season. Thank you for you.
Hi everyone, my name is Federico Rossi. I'm Italian, if you didn't know. My speech is not going to be as good as the others. I'm not even good at giving speeches, even in Italian, so. I'm going to be quick. Just arriving here with no expectation and without knowing anyone, I found a group of great guys, but first of all, incredible friends who helped me to settle in and make me feel a part of the family immediately. And for that, I thank each one of you so much. I want to thank coaches for trusting me and allowing me to play my first sport, even in another country with a totally different project for soccer. I learned so many things from them, and I really appreciate how much dedication and love they put in this incredible team. Thank you all for this amazing season. I had so much fun together, and we should all be proud of what we achieved, but most importantly, we should be proud of the group that we created together. This is an experience that I will never forget, because everyone here made it unforgettable. I'll forever be proud of being here, even for just 1 year, because now I understood the real values of playing one. I had so much fun with each of you guys, and Coach Ellie, you can smile. Thank you.
Hello everybody. I think I'm the only person without a speech, or like no prepared speech I have in my head. First of all, I want to thank all the parents for an amazing year, helping the kids and giving spares, everything. Second of all, I want to thank the coaches, Coach Sawyer, Coach Collins, Coach Morsi. I enjoyed every single minute with you guys. I felt very comfortable from the first minute. I remember after another show where me and Fede having a talk about tactics. We didn't really agree with it. We changed it for the rest of the season, but they have to go back to the old standards. Then I want to thank the team. It started all at captain's practice. I didn't really make friends with whistling and clapping at people for the ball. But the moment I started learning your names, it all worked out pretty well. First of all, I want to thank Getty for all the car rides this year. It's been amazing. We had a lot of talks, a lot of things about Fede when he wasn't there. Very second of all, thank Josh GS. People may not everybody know this, but okay, let me say it again. I'm sorry, I have to thank you sparing. At the first captain's practice, I cramped up 6 times, and every single one of those times, Josh GS came up to me and helped me to cramp. I want to thank Graciano for doing the presentation yesterday without me.
I missed it because of my MTest testing. Well, I finished it in 10 minutes and I just didn't want to show up to class anymore. I want to thank all the captains for making me feel welcome from the first day, which has been amazing. I feel really comfortable with you guys. You guys introduced me to new people here, and I will always appreciate you guys for that. I want to thank the whole team also for the amazing memories with you guys, and that's basically it. Now I want to wish all the guys who will be on the team next year so much luck. Enjoy every single moment of it because I enjoyed this one season here and it's been the best memories of my life.
Yeah, where'd you learn that?
Seniors, those were amazing speeches. You said it better than any of us could have said. I think it's a testament to the power of team sports, high school sports. It just does amazing things for these young guys in terms of education, developing positive relationships, and preparing them for the future. So I appreciate all the time you put into preparing those speeches and just the thoughtful things you had to say. So looks like you might need the mic for some things. Okay, come on.
We got some nice gifts for Coach Collins and Coach Troy here. All of us, we wanted to say thank you for a wonderful season last year and all through high school. We all, I speak for the team, we all look up to both of you as role models. And Coach Collins, all your inspirational speeches, certainly will not forget them. Coach Troyer, the scouting, all the intelligence on the field, off the field, it's what made us a great team. So all of us, we want to say thank you and let's move this with you guys.
So I think that about wraps things up. Once again, we appreciate everyone coming tonight. Appreciate everything the families and the players put into this. Really is a special program. Once again, seniors, thank you for everything and good luck in the future. And young guys, get ready for next year. Can't wait for another great season. We're going to play our end of the year video. Feel free to enjoy it. And as the video finishes, we can wrap up and get out.